Well, it was an exciting moment for everyone who was there, and it was first of all, it was an exciting moment for the Ukrainians present, the ministers of the government, the members of parliament, the ordinary citizens, the soldiers who were there, the veterans. It was this attention to Ukraine from not just the United States and the European Union, but Canada, who has such a large and influential diaspora community, was a great moment and for Ukraine. It shows Ukraine on a different level worldwide. So the Ukrainians were very excited. The Canadian delegation that came they were obviously excited to be back in Ukraine. Obviously, this is the Prime Minister's first trip to Ukraine, but Chrystia Freeland, other people who were involved in the trip, they were clearly excited to be in their second home. As Ukraine replaces this old, Soviet market of Russia and so forth, and due to the embargo, but as Ukraine, you can't just absorb that economically. You have to find other markets. So, thankfully, because of the European Association Agreement and the deep and comprehensive free trade agreement that was associated with that, they found the European market. But increasing trade with Canada is also very important for Ukraine as they look to replace that former Russian market. And hopefully what will happen is essentially what happened in Georgia in starting from 2006. Russia put a wine embargo on Georgian wine. And at the beginning, it was very difficult. But what happened was Georgia started selling to Ukraine. Sales were up 45%, for example. They started selling to Kazakhstan, to China, and to the United States and other countries. So what happened was when Russia finally lifted the embargo years later, it was good. The Georgians were happy to sell more wine. But at that point, they had already replaced the Russian market with other international partners. And so, Ukraine's going through the same thing now, and Canada is going to play a big role in that with this new free trade agreement. I'm not an economist, but just to put things into perspective, $250 million is essentially what Ukrainian media estimates Mr. Alexander Onyshenko's net worth to be. This is the MP who was siphoning money from the gas industry and then said he fled to Austria, but looks like he fled to Russia. He's under investigation from the National Anti-Corruption Bureau, and Parliament has lifted his immunity. So, that's just one oligarch is the amount of trade that is going on between Ukraine and Canada right now. We will see how much that increases trade. But, again, Ukraine is finding new markets. It's the European Union. These markets are westward, and Canada is a big part of that. So, we'll see how the trade grows in the coming years, but there's every reason to believe that, Canada's going to want good, clean agricultural products that Ukraine has to offer, steel, many other things that Ukraine produces. They have a number of events today. Today, I know, for example, he visited the Maidan and was going to lay some flowers. He also visited the Holodomor Museum. So he's catching a lot of Ukraine's history and feeling it firsthand of why Ukraine is so near and dear to so many Canadians from the diaspora community. The big question from the Ukrainian side is, what about the visa-free regime with Canada? And I know the Poroshenko administration put out a statement today that President Poroshenko was going to talk to Premier Trudeau specifically about that topic. Now, again, this is a opportunity. While Europe and the EU, the bureaucracy is grinding very slowly. Let's put it like that in terms of the visa-free regime, even in spite of the association agreement. Who knows? It's not on the agenda as far as I know from the Canadian side, but it is an opportunity for Canada. And of course, there's other considerations, not just let's make all Ukrainians happy with a visa-free regime. But it is a unique opportunity for Canada to step up again, just as they did with the free trade agreement. And that's something they'll discuss and consider. Anytime you trade more of your products, import, export, it builds ties, it creates wealth, it creates jobs, and everybody benefits from it. So let's hope this is just the beginning of a lot more of this.